What's up, you freaking geniuses? So, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to translate words into equations with variables, okay? And we're also going to solve them at the end. Okay, so let's start with this first example. So, it says 5 more than x is equal to -3. Okay, well, let's start with the easy part. Is equal to -3, okay? I don't know what this is right now, but I know it's going to be equal to -3. All right, so now let's figure out this part. 5 more than x. 5 more than x means I'm going to have x and then I want 5 more than that. Or in other words, more than means add. So here I have x plus 5 is equal to -3. Okay, so how would we solve this? Well, we want to isolate the variable x by itself on one side, right? So that means we have to get rid of this 5 somehow. So if we're adding 5 here, let's just subtract 5. But whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, right? So if we're going to subtract 5 on this side, we also have to subtract 5 on this side. Now, this 5 minus 5, that's just going to go to 0, right? 5 minus 5 is just 0. So all we're going to be left with is x plus 0, right? Or in other words, just x, okay? And then that's going to be equal to -3 minus 5. Well, what is -3 minus 5? That simplifies to -8. So we're going to have -8 right here. Now, as you can see, we came up with a solution. X is equal to -8. All right, let's try another one. Okay, so this one says 11 more than y is 2. Okay, whenever you see something like this, is 2 or is equal to, is basically the same thing as equal to. And 2 is just the number 2. Okay, now let's figure out the rest of this. 11 more than y. 11 more than y. So that means I want y, and then I want 11 more than that. I want to add 11 to that. So remember, more than means add. So we have 11 plus y is equal to 2. How are we going to solve for y here? Well, we want to isolate y by itself, right? So since I have this plus 11 here, I'm going to subtract 11. But again, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other, right? So I have to subtract 11 on this side also. Okay, so this plus 11 minus 11, that goes away, right? So we're just going to have y on this side. And then that's going to be equal to, what's 2 minus 11? Well, that would just be -9. So we came up with a solution. Y is equal to -9. Let's do a few more. Okay, this one says the difference of p and -2 is 4. So here's that is part again, right? So is means equal to, and then it's equal to 4. So that's the easy part to figure out. Now let's figure out the rest. The difference of p and -2. Difference right here always means subtract or minus. So we want to subtract p and -2. Okay, so let's do p minus -2. Okay, so we want to isolate this variable p, right? But before we do anything, let's simplify this whole thing right here. So we have p minus -2. What does that simplify to? Well, whenever you subtract a negative sign, this turns into one big plus sign. Okay, so this actually turns into p plus 2. And then let's bring down the rest of our equation, equal to 4, right? Equal to 4. Okay, so now as you can see, this equation is a lot easier to work with. So we have p here plus 2. So in order to get rid of this plus 2, we have to subtract 2. And we have to subtract 2 from both sides. So then this cancels out, goes to 0. All we're left with is p on this side. And then that's equal to 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is just 2. So here's our answer. P is equal to +2. All right, let's do just a couple more. Okay, so now this one says the number 84 is the product of -12 and r. Okay, so as you can see, we have this is again, right? So that's equal to 84. So it's saying 84 is equal to this stuff over here. So what is this stuff over here? Let's see, the product of negative 12 and r. So product, that word means multiply. So we're going to multiply negative 12 and r. So negative 12 times r. Okay, so we're trying to solve for r over here, right? So we have to get rid of this negative 12 somehow. So how do you undo multiplication? Well, you just divide. Okay, great. Divide by what? You just divide by whatever you want to get rid of. So we want to get rid of negative 12, right? Because we just want r to be here by itself. So we're going to divide by negative 12. And again, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other, right? So if we're going to divide by negative 12 here, we also have to divide by negative 12 right here. Okay, now we can start simplifying some stuff. So let's see. 84 divided by 12, that's 7. Okay, and then a positive number divided by a negative number is a negative number. So this left side simplifies to just negative 7. And then that's going to be equal to, right, equal to this whole thing. What is this whole thing? Well, as you can see, this is like a big fraction, right? So we have negative 12 times r on the top and negative 12 on the bottom. So whenever you have the exact same number on the top and on the bottom, so we have negative 12 here and negative 12 here, those reduce to just 1. So we can just replace that with a 1. And then we're multiplying that by r, right, times r. So negative 7 is equal to 1 times r. But what is 1 times r? Well, that simplifies to just r, right? Okay, so now we're just left with negative 7 is equal to r. So that is our answer. All right, let's try one more. Okay, so here we have the product of 9 and m is negative 81. Okay, well, I have this is negative 81, so I know that's equal to negative 81. All right, so now let's figure out the rest of this thing. The product of 9 and m. So remember, product means multiply. So I want to multiply 9 and m. 9 times m. All right, so I have my variable here, m, right? How am I going to isolate it? Well, how do you undo multiplication? Well, just like in the last problem, you divide by whatever you want to get rid of. So we want to get rid of this 9, right? So let's divide by 9. But remember, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. All right, now let's simplify some stuff. So remember, this is like a big fraction. So we have the same number on top and on the bottom. So those reduce down to just 1. And then we're going to multiply that by m, right? So times m. But 1 times m, that simplifies to just m. Now, let's bring down the rest of our equation. So equal to, right? Equal to. And then what's negative 81 divided by 9? Well, 81 divided by 9 is 9, right? And then a negative divided by a positive number is a negative number. So we have m is equal to negative 9. There's your answer. All right, guys, so that's how you translate words into equations and then solve them. I hope the examples were helpful. If they were, definitely leave a thumbs up down below. It's always appreciated. And if you still got any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to try and help you out. Also, there's a playlist attached at the end of the video, so if there's any other topics you need help with, definitely go check that out, and I'll see you there.